YouTube. I'm going to go live now with Facebook. We're bang on 6 o'clock. Nothing like punctuality. Get involved, talk about the big game. Hi, it's Bernie Slavin. Thanks for joining me on YouTube and Facebook Live. And thanks as always to the sponsors. I always say it, I write them down so I don't forget. GRS Insulation, Galaxy Blinds, Heroes and Legends, Advanced Utility Solutions, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Cornerstone, Dovecot, Smith & Friends Estate Agents, and TGM Cars. Well, Burroughs travelled to Sheffield United last night as underdogs, and rightly so, because Sheffield have been flying. Apart from the Hull City game, which I watched, Big Crooks, his first game back in England, scored a goal and Hull City won 3-0. That was at Sheffield at Bramall Lane. But we go as underdogs last night, and the team to take them on was Travers in goal, Giles and Ayling remained the fullbacks. I'll be honest, I was a wee bit surprised at that after watching the Sunderland game. Edmondson and Vandenberg, I thought that duo would have been changed as well. Bazog on the left, Junior on the right. Middle, Morris, Hackney, Azaz and Hanasho. Is that who your name's, Hanasho? That was the starting 11. On the bench was Belazer, Whittaker, Foz, Conway, Fry, Glover, Dove's dead, McCabe. That was the team, that was the substitutes. As I say, getting into the game, you know, anything can happen in football, but they were favourites, firm favourites. Good 18 points ahead of whatever it was. I'll be honest, I was in Glasgow. I got an invite to Glasgow because it was a away game. I thought, time I get home, I can't do this. I need to watch it before I can talk about it. Obviously, I read all the comments of people on the way back. I wasn't driving. Read all the comments. I knew we had a stinker. And when I watched it, it confirmed everything that everybody said. The goals we conceded. I don't know what's going on with the goals. We've conceded 42 goals in 31 games. But the goals we conceded, the manner. We've got the ball. The new right winger, we'll call him Junior. He's on the right. He's 18-yard box. Opponent's 18-yard box. He turns. Aliens come up to give him support. He gives a duff ball away, straight to their marker. He brushes off a tackle for another Borough player. Carries it. One ball pierces the back line. Then, as it's going towards the keeper, there's a mix-up and unbelievable. The one that Giles bumps into the keeper, ricochets, thank you very much. And then the third goal, the two goals were balls pierced through, back four caught square, and the last goal we conceded, our goal was a penalty, I don't think it was a penalty. The third goal, corner kick, the keeper has to be responsible. It's in his domain, 6-yard box. He must come out and punch ahead of the ball. He punched neither and the ball ended up in the back of the net. So, more goals conceded, another 3 conceded. I think that's 3 goals we've conceded in games. 8 games with 3 goals conceded. That's a lot of goals. Majorly disappointing. You know, let's not mess about here. This is business. This is business part of the season now. We cannot afford to keep chucking points away. We've won 3 and I think it's 14 now. 3 and 14, and this is the most crucial stage of the season. The right back Ayling is struggling. He's been a great professional. He can't run, and these young whippersnappers are leaving him for dead. And some of these whippersnappers at Sunderland and last night were nutmegging guys like Ayling. So Ayling can't run. On the left, we can't defend. Giles can't defend. We knew that when we brought him back. Everybody's going great, and I'm thinking, we've got a bad defence and we're bringing in a guy who can't defend in. Yeah, we know he's good going that way, but he's not many opportunities to go that way. Sunderland own goal last night. He was blamed for the one he ran into the keeper. 2 of them. Lack of communication. The ball ends up at the feet. As I say, you couldn't make it up. Frustrating, really frustrating in such a high-profile game. Look, we might have the odds are we'd probably get beat anyway because we've not been at the races. But to get beat in the manner in which we get beat, no real blood, thunder, guts, leadership. Again, they created chance after chance. There was one they cut in for the right when it was 0-0. Cut on great 1-2s, guy hit it, good save. Was it Palmer, come inside left, cut on it his right, curled it, flew by the bottom left-hand corner. The writing was on the wall what was going to happen. Inevitably, they were going to open up their account. And they did it. But, nah. I just thought too many sloppy passes. We just looked out of sync. There was no real... the demeanour looked all wrong. We didn't look confident. I think we knew we were going to get a hiding. Disappointing. See, it's not embarrassing to beat one of the best teams in the league, and obviously Chris Wilder's vastly experienced and knowledgeable, and he's done it, and he's been there, seen it, done it, got the t-shirt, he's got them promoted before, and he's back in business. While Bernie, that was total crap, especially for Keith Williams. And Giles looks like a fish out of water. He was crap. I wouldn't cherry pick just Giles. I don't think there was anybody that was really good. Big Berzoga game was honest. But if you're looking for man of the match awards, I don't think there was a Borough player that deserved the man of the match. You might feel differently, and you tell me who yours was, but when I watched it today, never seen it. Hi Bernie, great stuff as usual. We are catching you up. Another Coventry v Borough semi. That's for Finn. What's that one there? Sunderland 17 points ahead now, Bernie. Sunderland are 17-18 points ahead. Burnley, I think Burnley's 20 points ahead. Sheffield United 23. Leeds are about 25. Those four have gone. If we catch them, it'll be a miracle, and not a minor miracle. It'll be a miracle. And then you look at the other teams. I've written a few of the teams down here. Blackburn Rovers 5th now. West Brom 6th. They get done last night. Big Muggers team. Bristol, who we play a couple of weeks, 7th. Sheffield Wednesday 8th. We are now 9th. But we've got a game in hand. But you need to win the game in hand. And when you're having a run like us, with only 3 wins in 14, you question. You question the players. You question the team. You question our ambition. Everything gets questioned. Should have used Letty Laugh money to bring in Kev. I didn't say the name. Kev's just talking trite. Kev likes a laugh, and he's talking about a former player that used to be here. Well, we brought back Giles who can't defend. We might as well brought Rudy Justed back who doesn't score goals. You're right. Bernie, do you think any billionaire would buy the club? We need more investment. Andrew Parkin. Andrew, look, obviously the club's not for sale, but Steve Gibson, he does a fantastic job. He cannot be in it for the money. He must be in it for the kudos of his hometown club, and loves it, and he invested. Well, he's invested it for many, many years. But I always say when people say, "Oh, why does it get?" Who would buy Middlesbrough? Think about it. Take your Middlesbrough spectacles off and look at it realistically. Are we a glamorous town? We're a town. We're not a city. Are we glamorous at this minute in time? Are we attractive? No. The area's not attractive. The team's not attractive. Where we are at the minute's not attractive. These guys that come through all the planet, they're through all the world now, not just Europe, the world. They like living in cities, vibrant cities. Airports where they can jump in a plane and say, see you later, and head off and come back and get a few days rest. And we've not got that kind of airport in town and team. So my honest opinion, no. Hartlepool, Raz Singh at Hartlepool, he can't sell Hartlepool. And you might be thinking, well, it's Hartlepool, well, we're Borough. We have to be realistic. Stop kidding yourselves on. Mark Wetter says the only good that came out of that game was to see a passion from a couple of the players for a change, namely Edmondson, Ayling and Morris after the final whistle. Playing 4 at the back with both full-backs playing as wing-backs is ridiculous, meaning a formation of 2-4-4. Chris Andrews says, carry out soon as possible. How Fry's on the bench, and Conway, it's beyond words. Well, I have to say and be honest, Dale Fry, I don't know how Edmondson's just leapfrogged him and he's in the team. I would have Fry there over Edmondson, I'm being honest. Conway, probably on the bench because Conway is not match fit. Hardly played a game in 4 or 5 weeks. Played bit pieces, so no real surprise. But if he's fit enough to be on the bench, yeah, I'd probably agree that he should maybe start, and then if he blows a gasket after 60 minutes, take him off. Yeah, as I say, I've read all the comments coming back from Glasgow last night. I've looked at tweet messages, Facebook, and there's been some really agitated, irate Borough fans who, yeah, they've even been putting words I couldn't repeat on here. Graham Addison says, 9 days off since Sunderland. God knows what they do at Rockcliffe, Bernie. Yeah, I've read all we've been doing this and working hard, and you can work all you want in training ground. It's game time that's important, not the training ground stuff. Some of these players maybe are feeling the heat now. They realise best striker at the club's gone, best winger at the club's injured. We've got a number 10 in Azaz who's went off the rails for 5-6 games and keeps getting a game and keeps playing, and there's no replacement because we don't know who else can play that role. For me, that's a concern. You know, if I was a journalist out there going to Carrick, I'd be saying, Michael, what is this fixation with Finn Azaz? He had a poor start, had a purple patch, and now the last 6-7 games he's not done it. He's not done it. So why we go with your theory of chopping and changing regular? Why does he continue to play in there? And if he doesn't play there, if you were to drop him or rest him, who fits the bill to go in there? He won't know because he's never tried anybody else there. And for me, that's a vital position, the number 10. That's a score a few goals and create a few goals. And as to be fair, after the initial 11 games, he started doing it, but now he's back into the old routine. Not doing it, not creating, not scoring. And that's an issue. And if he can't, we need to get somebody else in. And look at the goals conceded. 42 goals. 8 times we conceded 3. Lose to Watford, and I'd make the change. Lee Carsley would be my choice. That's from Stella Oasis or something it says. The back four are shocking. Ayling's finished. Giles can't defend, and Emerson's awful. So, but who's responsible for bringing Giles in? I don't think it's Carrick. Why would you bring Giles in? I say lazy recruitment. Can't defend. And you bring them in, you're introducing them into a team who are nowhere near as good as the team that Carrick had first year round. With Ramsey and Archer, Giles bombing forward, Akpom banging in the goals. This team is a shadow of that team. And Giles has been floating about for a year and a half, whatever, and not done it, not got in relegation threatened sides and poor teams. So what made you think he was just going to come here, sit there, head of the light, become a defender, and everything was hunky-dory? It was never going to happen. Never going to happen. Hopefully he improves, but he still won't be able to defend because he can't defend. And if he can't defend now, it's not as if he's a young kid. He's good going forward if he gets the balls, and he can get balls in the box for sure. He's very good at that. But unfortunately, we're still lopsided. And at the minute, the left's lightweight, Berzog's doing his best, but he's not a left winger. And on the right, the lad, we'll call him Junior, Elling Junior, his first name, whatever. We don't really know what he's about. Doc's the one that fired us up. Latilas the ones that fired us up. Unfortunately, they two are not on the team. Terry Rollins says, team lacks pace, front, back, middle. Well, pace and leadership. And sometimes a bit of gumption, balls and steel. I think we missed that as well. Something I've never seen anybody clatting anybody. As I say, I'm not in place for no clatting. I never clattered, but there was guys in my team who would do that. That was their job, to unsettle, ruffle the opponent, get in, you're in the game today. I don't see any of that. You know, geeing each other up, pointing the finger, clenching the fist. Do you see it? Am I missing something? You need that as well. It doesn't matter how good a player you are, you still need to be a character. You need personality, you need to impose your ambition on the field. When you go there, it's like going to war, you're out there. You were talking about derbies the other day, and I'm thinking, derbies, Newcastle, Sunderland, loved playing against them. Knew how much it meant to the fan. You'd have killed for the manager. Missing a lead bitter type of player. Well, the thing is, Sean, this is Sean McMahon. When you look at Morris and Hackney both like to go forward. There's no sitting player there. Adam Clayton was a holding player, like a reverse sweeper in front of the back two, the centre halves. But these two are more wildly want to go forward, Morris and Hackney. And for me, maybe that defence needs a blanket. Maybe they need to go to your three, try and strengthen things, or get somebody totally to sit in, sacrifice a runner going forward to sit in there. But I think Carrick, like a lot of coaches, and I admire stubbornness to a degree, is sticking to what he believes in. But he has to turn it, because 3-1 and 14 is alarming. Couldn't even do Sunderland a favour, that's for Stephen Scott. Jay Shaw says, end of the road for Carrick and Woodgate. We're going backwards under them. Disastrous transfer window again too. Selling their best assets, replacing them with patchwork loan signings. What even is the plan anymore? Jay Shaw. Look, Jay, I mentioned that one of the local rags says the headline was, yeah, the window was intent. What a load of absolute bollocks. Intent? What way was it intent? We bring in a couple of loans, 3 players that came from relegation threatened sides. And we let that laugh go for 20 million, magic money, incredible, but we don't put it back out there. I don't know the financial restraints Steve Gibson and the chief executive do, so I can't get into that. But do not tell me it's statement intent and you let your greatest goal scorer or your best goal scorer. What nonsense! And then you've obviously got your Doak injured. But the statement intent, rubbish. We let 5 go, brought 6 in. And I said way ahead of the January window, if we were to lose Latif and Doak, I, hand in heart, says, well, I said live on the radio and on here, that I don't think we'd make the top 6. And with Latif gone, Doak out injured, don't know how bad he is. I keep hearing 2 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. If he's out a period of time, I don't think we'll make top 6. Why? Because we're inconsistent. Consistent being inconsistent. We don't know what lineup's going to play, who's playing where. Are we up for it? Are we not? We don't know. It's a mixed bag. It's guesswork now. We don't know what we're going to get, what Borough's going to turn out. And that's a concern and a worry. And it's that type of league, but we're not interested in anybody else. We're trying to define ourselves and find what we want and where we want to go. But as I say, a question. Some of the players that you junior last night, and I show up front, or however you pronounce his name, 2 new signings. So that's a gamble. We don't really know what they're about. They really don't know what we're about. It's a gamble. Berzog on the left, as I say, gives it his all. Scored a goal for the penalty spot. In my opinion, it wasn't a penalty. But he's not a left winger, but he gives his all. And then I've said Giles can't defend, and on the right, Ayling can't run, and Edmondson fairly stiff. No great mobility. The keeper looked suspect last night as well. The goal where he came out, he has to get something. He did have a couple of good saves first half. Look, it's easy criticising, but we're serious now. We'll be here long after all these lads go. We'll still be Borough fans, cheering their club on and getting behind them. But we want the best for us, and at the minute, we ain't getting the best. Well, hitty missy, indifferent. My runs faster than Ayling, Ian. And she's what, 94? Wow. Any other chairman would have got rid of Carrick? Sean McMahon. Steve Gibson's no shrinking violet when it comes to doing the dirty deed. He's done it in the past. He'll do it again in the future. I'm sure Steve Gibson will be concerned. I can't talk on behalf of Steve Gibson. He's his own mind, and he's a businessman and ruthless and hard-nosed, and he knows about football. One of the few chairmen that knows about football. But Steve Gibson won't be comfortable at the minute, looking at the Sunderland game when he was there. He was in the director's box. I've seen him for a distance. And last night's game and performance, or lack of performance, must be a concern to Steve Gibson. And he'll read and hear all the criticism that we see. And he'll be taking it in and digesting it, and he'll do what's right for the football club. But something has to change, and change quickly. Are you getting Morrissey's tickets, Bernie? Callum just threw me onto Morrissey. Got them. Manchester. Yeah, so... Bernie, why are we moaning? We can't cope with championship sides. We're certainly not ready for Premiership. Up the borough, Stephen Guthrie. That's a good point, Stephen. Why are we moaning? Well, I think we're moaning because we thought we put in a better shift than we have this season. I think that's where the problem is. I think a lot of my mates who travel the country watching Middlesbrough, season tickets at the Riverside, say to me, I don't want promoted. This is starting every season. Don't want promoted. No, we want you. This is a better league, more competitive for us. We win more games. It's better to watch. I'm not so sure. You know, the modern game, I love football. And I've loved football. And that's been my life, football, and talking about it and playing it. But the more games I watch, up and down the country, on the telly, live. I was in Glasgow last night. I went to see Celtic Bayern Munich. It was an opportunity to come up. I watched Middlesbrough today. That's why I'm on here talking about it. And that's why I put it back. It was a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I went with my son. My son lives in Edinburgh, big Borough fan. But I said, do you want to go? And we go. Celtic. It was just like a carbon copy of Middlesbrough. Obviously, they're playing Bayern Munich. So it's different levels. But Scottish football, everybody keeps knocking it. And last night, in the first 65 minutes, it was garbage. Pass. Schmeichel taking chances, trying to play it through the middle, through the eye of needle, almost getting caught out time and time again. Opening up, playing up the flanks, and 9 times out of 10 went out the park. It was garbage. I was bored. I'm thinking, I see this every week in England where I'm watching the telly, the Borough, use garbage. So football is really, and if Pep, the guy introduced it to England, this fanning about the back, as I call it, my terminology, he is struggling big time. It's time for a change. If he cannot win games playing the way he introduced it to everybody else, and somebody says the other week, oh, but they won 18 trophies playing that way. Yeah, they did, but everybody else is playing that way and winning nothing. Can hardly win a game, let alone win a trophy. Time to get rid of it. It's a fad. It's come in a few years. I mean, we come in and the big goalkeeper went to Celtic. He says that the Man City goalkeeper went, right, you can't kick the ball out, can't pass it for the back or take it out. You're moving on. Got him out. And then that was it. Everybody's trying to emulate it, copy it. And the majority are hopeless at it. And every time, even last night at Celtic, I'm thinking, you deserve a goal against you. When I see Borough fanning about, I think, if you let a goal in, you deserve it. Boring. Pass. You're wearing the leather thin off the ball and going nowhere. It's flattened to deceive. Terry Basco Brown says, hi Bernie, if you watched it last night, we had a breakaway in the 62nd minute and we brought out the quickest man in the break. Was the referee at the pace? Yeah. The frightening thing for me was 2 of their goals, as I mentioned, the first goal, the lad juniors outside right, well, tucked in on the 18-yard box, the opponent's box, bad pass back to the line, run, pass, back four, pass through, mix up between the defender and the goalkeeper, ends up at the back of the net. Next one, ball out of defence again into midfield, ball through the 4. One ball goes right through the 4. He's left 1-1. Thank you very much. And then the next one, set piece goal, clean header. Keeper was nowhere to be seen. Scary. It's scary. Look, if I was not doing it, if I was getting interviewed after the game, I'd be saying all the same things as a player. People didn't like it. People didn't want me to say it, but I would have said it. And what I'm watching now, it's simply not good enough. It's unacceptable. Players have to take responsibility individually, collectively. They have to start getting their act together. Sort the blinking defence out, man. Sort it out. I don't know how many clean sheets. We've had a few, but we've let loads of goals in. As I mentioned throughout, 8 games, and the games we've played, 8 of them, we've let 3 goals in. That's a lot of goals. Why are we letting so many goals in? People ask me, I think, well, we've got players that can't run, players that slow. That's a problem when you're playing greyhounds, young lads at 20 odd. 1-on-1, ball goes over the top. You've no chance of catching them. In your mind, you think you can, but your legs won't take you there. And I think that's what